Hey folks, grab your coffee and your donuts. I'm about to break it down what's going on in Chicago as the Windy City has turned into a free fall. I'm talking about we got Donald Trump flexing his muscle in the blue city.
And listen, be quiet, listen. You don't listen, you never listen. That's why you're second grade. We're not going to war. We're going to clean up our cities. We're going to clean them up so they don't kill 5 people every weekend. That's not war. That's common sense.
He's rounding up what they call illegal aliens, like he's on a zombie hunt.
Where are you taking them? Where are you taking them? Civilians are just without identifying yourself.
Meanwhile, we got the governor and the mayor crying foul.
You're going to hear people, especially this past weekend, 54 shot, 7 dead.
Yeah.
They're going to say the city's not safe. Would you ask your friends to ride the L after midnight or after, 9 o'clock at night even to come down to the city from O'Hare?
Look, big cities have crime.
In the meantime, the people are concerned.
Our children can't walk around the community without fear of being hurt or kidnapped or having a drive-by. So it's what these numbers that they're expressing, we don't feel it in our quality of life.
There's a new operation that just launched called the Midway Blitz. Give me 10 or 15 minutes, I'll update you on what's happening in Chicago. I'm Tim Black. Let's get it cracking.
Trump administration making it clear they're launching this new crackdown on immigration in Chicago. They call it Operation Midway Blitz.
The Department of Homeland Security says it will target undocumented immigrants here with criminal records. NBC5's Natalie Martinez joining us in studio tonight. She has more on this new operation and reaction to it. Natalie?
Allison, Stefan, Congressman Jesus Chuy Garcia said in a statement that Operation Midway Blitz is a declaration of war on an American city, but tonight, the Trump administration is doubling down. The operation is in the name of Katie Abraham, a U of I Champaign-Urbana student killed in January in a hit-and-run car crash involving an undocumented man from Guatemala. From the Senate floor Monday, Democratic Senator Dick Durbin calls these scary times.
The president is using fear to deflect and drive a wedge among us.
This at the apparent start of Operation Midway Blitz. Today, immigration rights supporters are vigilant.
This morning, we actually responded to a couple more sightings on 61st and Kildare.
Over the weekend, a social media post from President Trump with an AI-generated meme saying he loves the smell of deportations in the morning. And Chicago about to find out why it's called the Department of War.
We'd love to go into Chicago and straighten it out. We're bringing back law and order.
This outrageous vision of an American city that I love, under attack from Trump's Department of War, comes from a man who aspires to be awarded the Nobel Peace Prize.
NBC has obtained images of ICE arrests in Chicago.
Why exactly did Obama get the Nobel Peace Prize? Wasn't because he got peace done. He got it because he dropped bombs, baby.
A man from Mexico over the weekend wanted for aggravated sexual assault of a child. The border czar today saying the arrests don't target people based on race.
It's a multitude of factors to establish reasonable suspicion. But if an illegal alien has an MS-13 tattoo on his head, that's certainly going to be one of the factors that we consider.
Mayor Johnson says we just experienced record low homicide numbers, making this the safest summer since the 60s. Not all aldermen feel the same.
Our city needs as much help as we could possibly get.
The governor's office says it's received no formal communication or information from the Trump administration. In response to a DHS post, Governor Pritzker posted, once again, this isn't about fighting crime.
You try and reason with people like in Chicago with the governor and the mayor. You try and reason with them, and it's like you're talking to a wall.
As for what happens at Naval Base Great Lakes, Senator Durbin explains that DHS will rent an office building for 30 days. The base, he says, will provide parking space, office space, and storage for non-lethal ammunition through October 5th. He said, most importantly, service members will not aid in these raids. Stefan?
Yeah, it's against the law for the National Guard to do any police work. So all it can do is assist with other things throughout the city, but that frees up the police to do their job. Now, I got to question you this. Let's say you work at a warehouse. What if there were going to be some people that would come there and do a portion of your job so you can do other portions of your job? How many of you would complain about that? Yeah, like the main things, like maybe there's this loading, unloading the trucks, And there's also restocking the shelves, right? Or placing the orders and fulfilling the orders. And what if a group outside came in and helped with just the unloading the truck part? I got a feeling if you were working at that location and that opportunity came, you take it. See, I'm looking at this like a reasonable person, and that's what's different about the Democrats and Republicans fighting. There is no reasonable reason, other than propaganda and false narratives that are being put out to people, why anyone would have a problem with this. The National Guard is they're not charging Chicago to come to Chicago and do work so the cops can do more police work. National Guard is not running ICE raids. That's not what the National Guard can't do police work. Once again, they're not cops. So when you start looking at it a little bit deeper, this whole thing seems like a stunt, it seems like a big to-do about a little bit of nothing.
We are trying to protect all the residents of the state of Illinois. These are people who, people talk about, Donald Trump likes to talk about immigrants as criminals. These are not criminals. These are people who are genuinely here in this country, holding down jobs. They've been here for 10, 20, 30 years.
Yeah, there's some of them are. Not everybody's a criminal, but some of them are. I mean, there's crime in Chicago, so some people there are criminals. That's what criminal means. Before I go any further, I want to remind you that the Tim Black Show stands 10 toes down on the issues that impact your lives, and we don't work for either party. If you want to be a part of a movement that matters and have a voice, join us here at the Tim Black Show. Become a member. Go to jointimblack.com. At the end of the day, fam, this, my friend, is nothing else except what Trump ran on doing. The noise around it is just noise. The Midway Blitz is going down right now. There's nothing that to stop it. Pritzker, the governor of Illinois, would have to go through the courts to get it stopped. It's 30 days. National Guard is not knocking on people's doors. They're not serving warrant. It's not a coup. It's not an invasion. It's help. And and if anything, it'll help police presence on the ground. And you know what's going to happen, I believe? I believe it's going to have positive effects on Chicago. And citizens of Chicago who are not totally brainwashed, who care about more safety, are going to feel safer. Just like a number of Washington residents felt. And isn't that more important than stupid propaganda by either party? I would think so.
We want ICE to come. Please, everybody, try to help Chicago and call ICE. The number is 866-DHS2-ICE. We are going to move our people away from this culture of liberal failure that has compromised our sovereignty and left the citizens of Chicago behind.
Right now, ICE agents are being deployed in high, undocumented so-called neighborhoods where they frequent. They don't know how many people that they've locked up so far, detained or deported, but that information should be coming out. In my state of Maryland, we just lost a 19-year-old woman, Dakara Thompson, who was killed by an undocumented person, thrown off a bridge on Route 50 headed to Annapolis. That's not every undocumented person, but that did happen. It's not made up. It's not propaganda. It's weird how Governor Pritzker and Brandon Johnson are complaining that the Trump administration isn't coordinating with them. Why would they coordinate with you? You be harboring undocumented people in your sanctuary city. Why would they want to coordinate with you? It's like the federal government has one initiative and Illinois has another initiative, and they don't match. One wants a border. The other does not want a border. They like the cheap labor. Why even deploy the National Guard, right? Well, I expect there to be some protests. And what the National Guard can do is help with protesters. Yeah, if the protests escalate and they get out of hand, that's when the National Guard can get busy. The tensions over the next few days or the next few weeks will probably be high as the Democrats do their best to rile up their base, to get people outside and angry. I know in D.C., we just had a couple of universities stage a walkout protesting against the National Guard being in D.C., even though the National Guard was basically cleaning up parks. They walked out of class over propaganda telling them that the National Guard is banging heads and breaking into people's homes and doing ice work or something. I don't think these people really know what they're protesting. I think they watch MSNBC or something. I don't know what they're watching. Maybe somebody on TikTok or something. They're getting crazy ideas of what's happening here with the National Guard. So if that escalates in Chicago, well, then you got the National Guard, and the National Guard can step in, and lock that down. Nationally, this tests whether the state and federal, who has more jurisdiction, who has more power locally. But as it goes to the courts, and if it does, we all know that Trump has the power, he has the edge when it comes to having a conservative majority. That's going to be more lenient to his goals. What do you think? Is this necessary enforcement, or is it just petty politics? Drop your thoughts in the comments section. Thanks for watching. Till next time, Wolfpack.
The Tim Black Show streams Sundays, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Wolfpack.